amphibian.
Oh, speak for yourself, you old croaker.
Yeah, just pop a squat. Look here what I found in the well.
What is it?
It's an old diary written by the Frog Prince himself after he got changed back into a prince.
The Frog Prince. The Frog? That sounds familiar somehow.
You senile old toad, it's your favorite story.
Oh, yeah. And don't you call me senile. I can out-hop you any day. Come on, let's go. Let's see what you got. Come on.
Okay, truce. Now, this diary thing might really be worth something.
What diary?
This diary, you forgetful old flycatcher.
Oh. Yeah. I bet we could sell it for a bunch on eBay.
Oh, I bet we could get a whole jar of flies.
Oh, more than that. I bet we could get 3 whole jars.
Oh.
But maybe we better read it first and see if it's any good.
That's a good idea. Here, I'll start.
Okay.
Let's see.
Perfect.
Oh, look. Here's an introduction with the original story of the Frog Prince.
Oh, goody. Read that. It'll help me remember.
See?
Remember the details.
Yes, dear. Okay, here we go. Introduction. The Frog Prince. Once upon a time there was a handsome prince whose good deeds angered a wicked witch. So she turned him into a frog.
Oh, I always like that part. Oh, look over there. Look. Magic illustrations. Jump-a-doodle. They move and everything. Isn't that neat?
Yes. The poor prince was transformed into a frog and nothing could change him back except the kiss of a princess who loved him enough to marry him.
Oh, that's so sweet. But I never did get the part why he wanted to get changed back. I mean, being a frog is the best.
Yeah. Then one day, a brave and beautiful princess happened by and listened while he told her his sad tale.
Oh, how sad. I really do think that's my favorite part.
The princess was so moved by his story that she thought seriously about his proposal.
That's getting good. I think eBay's going to have to pay a lot more.
At last, she leaned down and gave him a loving kiss. With the kiss still on his lips, the frog turned back into his princely self. It was love at first sight for both the prince and the princess. And so, without more ado, the wedding was planned.
Sweetiekins,
Yes, precious.
can I change my mind and have this part be my favorite part?
Of course, my little Webby. This was, after all, always your favorite story.
Ooh, and isn't it exciting that there's more now? Is this where the diary starts?
Yes, it is. See, it says, "Dear Diary, here are some lovely pictures that were taken of me and my glorious princess at our wedding. There's no doubt we shall live happily ever after."
Pictures. what it says here. Dear Diary, nobody really said how long ever after was supposed to be. All I know is that we were very happy together for a long time. But now, I don't know, it's just kind of different from what I expected. Today, for the third day in a row, I hopped down to play leapfrog, our favorite game. But my princess didn't want to play. She said she had a headache.
Oh no, look here. Dear Diary, today when I swatted a fly and ate it, I do so love flies, the princess snatched the fly swatter out of my hand and hit me over the head with it. My beloved actually struck me. I must be very disgusting indeed to make my lovely princess so angry. Perhaps a frog is more fitting to my nature.
Oh, stop! Don't read it anymore, it's too sad. Here, let me read the next part. Oh, dear Diary, I have been blaming the princess for the troubles we are having. But the truth is, I miss my pond. I miss the cool lily pads and the feel of the fresh mud between my toes. The truth is, I miss being a frog so much, I could just croak.
And the next day he says, Diary, I have decided it would be better for both the princess and me if I give up my crown. I have decided to travel the four corners of the world and try to find someone to turn me back into a frog.
Well, at least he's come to his senses about being a frog. I just hope he doesn't try that old lady. You know, the one that lives in the deep, dark forest behind the big rock candy mountain?
Ew, I've heard of her. She lures little children to her house by making it all out of sugar and candy canes and lollipops.
And then you know what she does? She grabs those poor little boys and girls and she locks them in her house. And then she feeds them on butter and sugar until they're all plump and sweet. And then you know what she does? She bakes them into gingerbread people. Ribbit crap.
Quick, let's read the next entry and see what he does.
Oh, okay.
Dear Diary, now that my mind is made up, I am on my way. When I got to the big rock candy mountain,
Ribbit crap.
two strange men told me about an old woman who lives in the forest and is very good at cooking up magic. I think I will try to find her tomorrow.
Oh, no, don't go there. She's not a good person. Oh, I can't bear it. What are the pictures doing?
Well, turn the page. It is indeed a scrumptious mound of sweets. The old woman doesn't seem to be home, but I do hear children in the house. I think I will go and see what they're shouting about.
Ribbit. Oh, check around. The children are free. Now, if that prince will just get out of there before the old woman comes back, I have a funny feeling she would rather cook him up into a gingerbread man and eat him than turn him into a frog.
Juggeroo.
Did he get cooked into a gingerbread man? Oh no! Read the next part. Read the next part.
Dear Diary, well, there's good news and bad. First of all, that old lady was no lady at all. She was a witch. The children and I had a terrible time with the old hag. The good news is, instead of cooking me up for dinner, she slipped on a wet, sticky lollipop and fell head first into the oven herself. I was never in my life so relieved to see something go up in smoke. The bad news is, dear diary, that she managed one last blast with her magic cane before the oven closed and hit me right between the eyes. I have indeed been transformed, but not into a frog. Dear diary, I am something much sweeter.
Oh my goodness gracious! She's turned him into a gingerbread man. Oh no. Let me read this thing myself. I have to see what happens next. Dear diary, now I am really in a pickle. Well, I'll say rabbit.
Rabbit.
It's getting late and I'm hungry and in grave danger of eating myself.
Rat.
And now, to add insult to injury, I have just stubbed my toe something fierce.
Pretty.
What is that thing? It looks like a lamp. It would be golden shiny if I cleaned it up a bit. I'll just rub it with some salt, please.
exciting. Isn't there something about a genie granting wishes?
Oh, yes, she either gives you 3 wishes or she gobbles you up. Read on and let's see.
Good grief, listen to this. Dear diary, oh joy of joys, it is a magic lamp and the genie is going to give me 3 wishes. What shall I wish for? Well, love, I can't stay a gingerbread man forever. Okay, wish number 1. I don't want to be a gingerbread man anymore.
He's kind of dumb for a prince, isn't he?
Probably just muddled brain from not eating. What comes next? Diary, help. I've done a stupid thing and now I'm right back where I started as a prince. I have to do something to fix this quick. Wish number 2. No, not a prince again. I want to be back swimming in the water.
No, you have to say frog. You have to say frog. You didn't say it. You didn't say. Oh no, she's turned him into a fish.
look here. He's going to try again. He's finally remembered he has one wish left.
Well, I hope he's more specific this time. Well, go ahead. What was wish number 3? What? What do you mean, what? What? Oh no! The genie must have misunderstood. It must have garbled his voice in the water. She's turned him into a log! My goodness, you're not singing very well today.
I know I've got a frog in my throat.
Ribbit. Well, where were we? Let's see. Goodness gracious, hot dogs. What's that?
That's the prince.
It looks like a log.
The prince is a log, remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Well, let's read some more about this frog prince, or should I say log prince.
That was very cool, but funny. Well, this should be interesting. I suppose a log can write.
Well, let's see. Beer diaby. Oops. Now me be log, me float to shore.
Well, it's more than I expected from a log. Actually, it's not bad.
I don't know, Francie. He seems dumb as a stump to me.
Oh, just go ahead and read, will you?
Beer diaby. Me plop into grassy meadows. Me very glad to see floppy frogs on shore.
Look! Look at the picture. Here comes some frogs now. ever think a log could dance like that? Oh, grab it. Well, he's not turned back into a frog, but at least he's with frogs now. Read on. What goes on? What comes next?
Beer diabetes. Me miss being frog very much. Very hard to hop and dance with wooden leg. Me sad now. See many froggy friends, but they no recognize me. Telled me sad sappy story to Jazz Frog and Mr. Toad. They try very hard to cheer me up. B.S. Me also have termites.
Don't stop, never give up. Hold your head high and reach the top. Let the world see what you have got. Bring it all back to you. Hold on to what you try to be. Your individuality. When the world is on your shoulders, just smile and let it go. If people try to put you down, just walk on by, don't turn around. You only have to answer to yourself. Don't you know it's true what we say? That a life it ain't easy, but your time's coming around. So don't you stop trying. Don't stop, never give up. Hold your head high and reach the top. Let the world
Let's see. Beer diabetes. My old nanny telled me that mushrooms always grow where fairies be. So me very glad see patch of mushrooms. Me likey fairies. Well, it's not Shakespeare, but he gets the point across. There were mushrooms.
Ribbit.
It's a mushroom, it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us.
Where do they grow? They grow on the trees. Where else can you find them? Underneath the leaves. But some of them are poisonous and they can make you sick. So look but don't touch unless you know which ones to pick.
It's a mushroom, it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us.
What do they look like? They're white and red and brown, yellow, orange, pink, and even purple can be found.
It's a mushroom, it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us.
They really like the rain that falls down all around. When their feet get wet, they pop their heads above the ground.
It's a mushroom, it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us. It's a mushroom,
Oh,
it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us. It's a mushroom,
oh,
it's a fungus,
yeah.
and they're growing all around us and among us. It's a mushroom, it's a fungus, and they're growing all around us and among us. It's a mushroom,
It's a fungus.
it's a mushroom,
It's a fungus.
it's a mushroom.
It's a mushroom. It's a fungus. Now, if that log prince was right, we should see some fairies here pretty soon. Because you know, it is true that fairies like to live under mushrooms for a bit.
Look, there come some fairies now.
Ooh, those aren't just any fairies. Those are friends of the blue fairies. You remember her from the story? You know, when you wish upon a star. Yeah, that one. Well, she's supposed to do wonders with wood.
Crap.
But the poor log prince. Well, he's not a log anymore, but now he's the puppet prince. Oh dear. Well, maybe the blue fairy will come back and change him into a real boy.
Let's see. Hey, diary, look at me. I can dance just like a real boy. I got no strings on me. But wait a minute, this isn't right. I know I'm supposed to be something else, but my wooden head just can't remember. Ah, here comes a flock of birds. Maybe they could help. I remember somebody saying, a little birdie told me.
Check her out.
Tweedledee, 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 tweedledee.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, rock and robin, tweet, tweet, tweedledee, rock and robin, tweet, tweet, tweedledee. Go rock and robin 'cause it's really gonna rock tonight.
Tweedledee, tweet, tweet.
Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little bird in the tall oak tree. Wise old owl, the big black crow, flap their wings, singing go, go, rock and robin,
Tweet, tweet, tweedledee,
rock and robin,
tweet, tweet, tweedledee,
go, rock and robin, 'cause it's really gonna rock tonight.
tweedledee, tweet, tweet.
A pretty little raven at the bird bandstand taught him how to do the bop, and it was grand. It started going steady and bless my soul. Now about the buzzard and the whole
The rocks in the treetop all day long.
hopping and bopping and singing his song.
All the little birds on Jaybird Street.
Love to hear the robin go tweet, rock and robin, tweet, tweet,
Tweedledee,
rock and robin, tweet, tweet,
tweedledee,
go, rock and robin 'cause it's really gonna rock tonight.
tweet, tweet.
Rock and robin,
Tweet, tweet, tweedledee,
rock and robin,
tweet, tweet, tweedledee,
go, rock and robin 'cause it's really gonna rock tonight.
tweedledee, tweet, tweet,
Go, rock and robin 'cause it's really gonna rock tonight.
tweedledee, 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 tweet, tweet, tweedledee.
But what happened to the little birdies? Tell him. I mean, does he know he needs to be a frog now? I mean, do they know somebody that
Oh,
could help
slow
him?
down. Whoa, whoa, just hold your hoppers. Here, let's read and see what happened to him.
Oh, sorry. All right. Crap. Dear diary, it's absolutely true that little birdies know all kinds of things. They reminded me, oh, Ribbit, I'm trying to get turned back into a frog. I'm the frog prince. Think of that. I think I've heard of me. Anyway, diary dear, the birds told me about a mysterious tribe who lives in the land of Bog. They are supposed to stir up some powerful potions. So, I'm off to see the wonderful wizards of Bog. Wish me luck.
Brat.
Ribbit.
Bow, 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 bow,
fog wizards do have some powerful potions. In fact, they made me drink a particularly nasty one. But I feel awfully strange. I don't think they did it right. I heard one of them say they were out of Eye of Newt, and the other one said use Eye of Gnat. It's almost the same thing, but I don't think it is the same thing. Dear diary, you'll never believe how orange I am.
Oh, I hate to tell him, but he's turned himself into a pumpkin, or I don't have frog legs. So, read on.
Dear diary, if I am not mistaken, I see a fairy godmother, and I do believe she has a magic wand. What do you suppose she's looking for?
Oh, no, not again. Ribbon.
Dear diary, you'll never believe what I've been turned into this time. You know, one of those vehicles that take fair maidens to balls.
Ribbit.
Wouldn't you just know it? Oh, diary dear, I've been such a fool. I had a perfectly wonderful life and I didn't appreciate it. I thought I needed to be somewhere else when really I was already in just the right place. I miss my home. I miss the warm, cozy fire, but most of all, I miss my beautiful princess. She believed in me when nobody else did. She loved me when I was nothing but a slimy frog.
What does he mean, nothing but a slimy frog?
Oh, shh. This is the sad and wonderful part.
Oh, excuse me. Far be it from me to interrupt the sad and wonderful part.
Where was I? Oh, yes. My beautiful princess loved me, and I ran away without a word. Oh, diary, if only I had one more chance to tell her how much I love her and beg her forgiveness. But I have tried all the magic in the world, and none of it has helped me.
Hey, look over there. Isn't that the princess? Yes, it is the princess. What's she doing? Ribbit. Well, who are those? Who are those are angels. I bet she's praying for something. Oh, she looks so sad. I bet she's saying a prayer for the prince.
there I was, a coach racing from the ball. Then suddenly on the stroke of midnight, a miracle occurred. The spell was broken, and I tumbled end over end onto the ground. I was weaned, myself, a sadder but wiser prince. Then, and this is the most miraculous part of all, dear diary, before me stood my exquisite princess with love in her eyes and her arms open to welcome me home. I don't know what powerful force has given me this second chance, but I promise, dear diary, to spend the rest of my life being grateful for it, and being grateful for my constant and true wife, my princess.
Excuse me. Has anyone lost a glass flipper?